Welcome to Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's Tuesday night. What are we doing? What's this show called? It's What's on the Bench Double Take Live. It's an exciting evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, you have to deal with mini-me tonight. And this show is sort of a response to the What's on the Bench. So anytime there's a What's on the Bench, what we're going to do is try to have that come out on Monday so that on Tuesday night we can do sort of a What's on the Bench follow-up. And you can ask questions, you can look at things again, there can be more detail, we can try stuff, experiment, all kinds of options and choices. Let me know where you're watching from. How many of you watched yesterday's episode? And let me know in the comments. Yeah. I like those What's on the Bench shows. They are pretty great. Yeah, I'm about to be run over by a Capra. Actually, look, I can get right under there and try to lift it up. Yeah, it's a fun show for me to do because there's always something happening in here. There's always a project that either I've taken on or there's something new that's come out that I've gotten in to show off. And yeah, here we are. Hey Sam, how you doing, buddy? You want those SSD axle, or at least this part of the axle, the locking hubs, which I did demo sort of on the episode yesterday. But what we're going to do today is take one off. We're going to take it off, and I'm going to show you how it all works in there. And then, if there's time, I may try putting it on this F9 axle here off this Capra, just a straight axle F9 from Vanquish, because somebody asked if these would fit on a Curry. And yes, these are functional locking hubs. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Whoa! So there you go. Look at how shiny they are. SSD did an amazing job on these. It's so unnerving for me to watch me look at a thing. It comes with this little tiny nylon tool here. And right now it's locked. You can see that it's spinning that other tire and the pinion and everything there. I don't know what the cost is. SSD hasn't listed a price yet. They are on his website, so you can check them out there. I think I put a link in the description, so you can check that out. But they should be available soon. He was waiting for me to show them off before he kind of made them live, so they're on there now. Anyway, so it's in its locked position now. You can see everything's rotating there. So I can't remember which way you have to turn it, but turn it one direction. I think that's probably it. And nope, that's still locked. Okay. Stand by. There, I think that might be unlocked now. Nope. Try spinning it the other way. Oop, we're out of focus there. There we go. Okay, that's probably unlocked. Yes, so now it's unlocked. It spins freely, independently of the rest of the axle. So that's how it works. Neat, huh? Why don't we take it apart so you can see how it all goes together. I figured, let's lock it back in place though first. Oh man, that's Tony. I'm sorry to hear that about the tornadoes. That's never good. Hope everyone that you know is safe and okay. But yeah, these are, it's probably not going to be the most practical thing. We all kind of can admit that, and that's fine. And I think the kind of the goal here was to make a functional item that is cool and unique and interesting and not something that you see every day. And you certainly don't see this every day. The last time I saw it was on the Tamiya Hilux, and that came out in like 1979. So it's been a little while. This is a SLW compatible hub. So SSD makes all of his wheels with the SLW pattern, and now, of course, well, Vanquish kind of invented SLW as far as I know. So yeah, they will work with all of their wheels as well. How strong do I think these are going to be? Well, I'll let you kind of decide that on your own. I think they're going to be pretty strong, mainly because it's all machined aluminum, and there's not a lot of moving parts in here. So, okay, I've taken off the main part of the hub, and you can see there's the disc brake. And then there's a tiny spring here, and I've lubed this up. So this spring works in conjunction with this hub here, and that's how it locks it into place. And I'm going to show you the whole kind of thing here in a second. There is a E-clip on here, and I did get a new set of clamp ring pliers, so I probably should use those. But in there, there is nothing. Just a couple of bearings. There's a large bearing on the outside and then a smaller bearing on the inner side. And then there is this universal drive shaft. And instead of like a hub mount or like a M4 thread, it's just a squared off piece. And it's square. That should be noted. Because on the inside of our hub, you can see there is the whole sort of the locker doodad here. And if I stick that out a little bit further, you can see it's quite heavily splined. And that's what ends up happening. This, you can see it, I've unscrewed it all the way, so let's get that out of there for demonstration purposes. Okay, so what happens is, you can see that spline goes in and out of the spline that's on the inside of the hub. This is actually, I presume, kind of how they work in real life. And that spring is what keeps tension on the whole thing, right? So you screw this in and out, and it moves the hub, or this little insert, either in line with those splines or out of line with those splines. And with the spring, it's always pushing that so it either keeps it locked or unlocked. Right? Yes, that is correct. That's how the whole thing works. So, I mean, I guess if anything's going to fail, it's going to be this part. But this is a pretty heavy-duty machined part. And like I said, that squared off section that meets up with the actual outdrive shaft, that's what's going to keep everything going, right? So provided that is locked in and locked into this part of the spline, I don't think anything's going to break. You'd have to apply an awful lot of power to break that piece, I think. So yes, some questions on this, or at least let me go through some of the comments here because I've missed a bunch. Nyakua signed up tonight as a supporting member in the Scale Builders Guild forum. Tired of Facebook? Well, welcome. I think I approved your upgrade just before I jumped on the show. So congratulations, thank you, and hope you enjoy the forum. Grimger, got your hat from SBG hat from Teespring. Very nice. Instant favorite. Coolest nerd on the block. Yes, provided no other nerds live on your block. Great for a trail rig if you have overdrive. Yeah, I guess so. That'd be kind of fun, right? Because you could just two-wheel drive it until you needed to get this going, and then everything could be in four-wheel drive. I lubricated everything as per the instructions. Come on, focus. I lubed everything as per the instructions. I'm using that Vanquish blue grease because that stuff is radical. So we'll just stick that back in there and press it. get it to sit in the spline there. There we go. And we're just going to put this all back together, because what we'll do, for the sake of simplicity, is I'll just take this knuckle off and we'll see if it'll go right on here on the, you know, F9. See if it goes right on the Curry axle there. All right. So yes, I think they'll be fairly strong. How long till those are electric and controllable from the controller? Man, I don't know how you would do that, but that would be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I guess the other failure point would be the spring, right? Because you kind of have to rely on that spring to maintain the up and down sort of motion or friction. Friction? I don't care if they're practical. I need them. Can you do a dry demonstration on how you got the fade on the Monster logo? Yes, I will definitely do that, Alar, as soon as we get to that truck. I just want to get through this first because I know that this was something that I think had a lot of people's interest in yesterday's video. So I wanted to do this first. And it is pretty cool, I gotta say. Like, when I first heard about it, when Catan from SSD reached out and he said, I've got this thing, do you have any SX10-2 axles or element axles that you would be willing to give this a shot on? I've got a piece that I think you're going to really like. I was like super intrigued. So I was like, yeah, send it. Send it for sure. Do we know what the MSRP is going to be? No, I do not know off the top of my head. He didn't tell me. I didn't ask. If I were to guess, I'd say around $100, maybe the $100 range, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure. But that seems like a reasonable amount, if you ask me. I'd pay it for sure. All right, let's take this knuckle off. He does also offer this. I'm going to zoom out a bit because that is not keeping things in focus. There we go. He also does a set for the Trail King, which is his kit, so it kind of makes sense that he does that. Look, it's modern art. Which side is that? That is the driver's side. Let's take this one off. I need another. Oh no, this will work. Oh, jeez. Man, I put those on real tight. Oh, gotta use another tool here. Will that fit in there? Nope. Uh-oh. That fit in there? Sort of. Not really. This one will. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta get a bit more leverage. Brian Harrison, thanks very much. What happens when Josh runs a 4S brushless system through those hubs? Well, the good news is Josh is very unlikely to ever use these because they're too scale for him. I don't think that's really his wheelhouse. So this is, we're testing to see a proof of concept here to see if these will fit on the Curry axle. Has to be a centered differential, obviously. It can't be a offset diff because that won't work at all. I missed the background behind you. We don't get to see all the cool rigs. Well, I know this is only for the purposes of having stuff on the bench and allowing you to see that and me at the same time. It's convenient. Matt, we need a hello, Kayla. Hello, Kayla. And hi, Jim. How are you? Good to hear from you, see you, etc. Come on, you. Why won't you come off? There we go. Let's just pull this out real quick. Oh, wait, are these locked to the... These might be locked to the input. Are they locked to the ring gear? No, they can't be. That can't be a thing. I can't remember. Those look really scale on a TRX4 Chevy K5, an older Bronco. Yep, definitely. 100%. Crawler Baller, thank you very much. Just arrived. Sorry if you already covered this. Are there practical situations where you might use this, or is it mostly scale porn? It's a little bit of both. Practical, I mean, you could run in two-wheel drive and save gas. If that's a thing. There we go. Just need a little bit of come hither on that one. So they appear to be the same length exactly on the shaft. So I don't see why they wouldn't fit. Let's just double check here. Oh, not locked. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. It's kind of dirty right now, so it's making a bit of a mess, but it should work. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't. Perfect, caught her off guard. Excellent. I think it's just tight on that shaft, but I think it'll fit, like, without any question. So yeah, I'd say that's a winner. If you are indeed interested in putting these on a set of Curries or any other Vanquish axle that is center diff that is based on the SCX-10-2, you will have no trouble. So there you go. Cool beans, huh? It's such a nice piece. Like, it's just, they really, SSD did a good job on that. It's pretty cool. No caliper. So, you know, that's a bit of a failure in terms of scaleness. But it's all good. Don't Capras usually have portals? Yes, they do. I have severely modified this Capra. It's not much Capra except for the cage anymore. It's got Curry F9 straight axles, a broken drive shaft. This is a flat skid, and I can't remember who it's from, but it also allows for the 3-gear transmission, which I have there, and a full-size shifting servo for dig. It's got so this has got a Vanquish 3-gear and a Hertz dig on it for cool factor, or difference factor. I wanted to do something different with mine. I wasn't happy with the Capra with the portal axles, so I opted to change it up and do something different. Kind of sucks? What kind of shocks? Just regular everyday axial 90 mils. SCX-10-2 style back in the day. Okay, here's a good question, I think. If you run the GCM trans with 30% overdrive and pair it with the locking hubs from SSD, what that save my brushed motor? Yes, it will save your brushed motor. Good question. All right. So yeah, there's no pin anymore. There's none of that stuff. It's all just sort of like magic, I guess. It's very cool, though. It's a pretty neat system. I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh, I've lost a E-clip somewhere. That's not good. Fiddly-dee. I will have to find that later. All right, let's get this axle back together and we'll move on to something else. Can you use the VP knuckle with it? You can use any knuckle you want with it. Knuckle is inconsequential to the truck itself, or to the hub itself. So yeah, you could go like even more extreme and use like a weighted knuckle or whatever you wanted on there. That should all work just fine. Neat, huh? Yes. This truck is dirty too. I actually should clean this truck. Filthy, filthy animal. Oh my God, that rocket. Oh, did everybody watch Josh's Scale News update today? That, I can't believe he went there. It's definitely an adult show. If it wasn't already. It is now. Jeremiah Solberg, thank you very much. How many skill points is this worth? Also, my SCX-10 Deadbolt will be my winter crawl basher. Very cool. Scale points, I'm going to give it... I think you get 1, because it's a functional item. And that's probably all you would get, if I'm honest. I don't see why you'd get any more points for it, because it's not like... I mean, you get the hub. Actually, you get two points. You get a non-functional and a functional scale point. That would be my guess. When will the next mud Bronco video be? As soon as there's good quality weather and mud. I'm waiting on those 2 things. So I think there was supposed to be a bearing in there, but I don't know where that bearing went. Or if it even had a bearing in there. Maybe it didn't. It probably should. Let's put a bearing in there. Oh boy. This is turning into like don't do what Maddie did. That's not even the right size bearing. Now it's probably never coming out. Oh, it's stuck in there forever. Use my dental pick to get it out. Oh, it's probably not going to do it. Have to bang that out now. Oh. Yes. Success. Do I have a bearing big enough? Hopefully. I bet you that's too big. Yep. Top tip. Always have a random size amount of bearings in one place. There we go. That's the right one. Perfect. See, this is like a maintenance show at the same time. The worst maintenance show ever. Hello, computer. How much weight do they add, if any? There is some weight there, but you know what? Weight has never been my focus. I don't really think about it too much on a scale truck especially. Comp truck, different story. But that type of item wouldn't be used on a comp truck, if I'm honest. So, not something you really should worry yourself about. Unless you're doing like well, even a Class 0 build, I wouldn't worry about weight. Class 0 is Class 0. Yes, it's a shreddy Capra, exactly. I saw that shreddy livery and I was like, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to do that. All right. There we go. Let's get that out of the way and zoom back out a little bit. Perfect. And we'll put that all back together later. Okay. Let me go through some questions and comments here. No caliper. Well, isn't that something a 3D printer could solve? Yes, absolutely, Reggie. Good point. Actually looking to purchase the Capra. Very nice rock bouncer. Technically, I don't know if I'd call it a rock bouncer. I think the Capra is more of a rock crawler more than anything. It's sort of like loosely modeled after those tiny little buggies like the Pretty Penny and stuff. Obviously a little bit different than that, but more of a crawler than I would consider a rock bouncer. If you want a rock bouncer, get a bomber. Fake calipers and rotors always trap pebbles and jam. That's a good point. All right. I feel like I've missed a bunch here. Eric Baker, thank you very much. What trans is in your Capra? I think I answered that. 3-gear trans, the Vanquish model with a full-size Hertz dig. I did a whole video on this conversion, actually, so you can go back and check that one out if you like. Are you a pickle eater too? Yes, Craig, I do enjoy a good pickle. Functional and its scale. Yes, Jesse. So I think we decided on 2. Brake rotor points 2, actually. So maybe 3. Yeah, good point there. Good point. What hub width is this setup equivalent to? Probably, if I'm just kind of guessing here, I don't have any. Maybe I don't think I have any handy, but it looks to be like a 475 probably, or a 350. I guess I could measure it for you. Where are my digital calipers? Here they are. Ooh, my dog bit my finger. He was just playing. He bit my finger, and it's quite hurty. Just jammed it. Okay, let's zero that out. And it's about 10.4 millimeters. So you can do your own math from there. I didn't notice much of a crazy offset though, so I don't think it's going to be that dramatic. And plenty of room for your hubs or your wheels to clear too. I should mention that on the back of that Vanquish wheel. Plenty of room for that rotor. And it all looks pretty good, eh? Yeah. All right. Good quality weather for mud truck equals bad weather. I think we all know that. Yeah, well, the problem is that it's so close to freezing that like one day it'll be mud, the next day it'll be schmud. Steven, I'm not sure when SSD hubs are going to be available yet. Should be soon though, because I know that he has stock on them, and I think it's just a matter of getting them into retailers' hands. By chance, can we see that on the SCX-10 you posted up? Maybe. I don't think I'm going to do hubs on that Range Rover, which is in pieces. Let's get that on the bench briefly. Only briefly, though, because I think Josh and I are going to talk more about this truck tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in for this. Here it is, sort of. It's not by any means in running condition. I've already started disassembling it, but this is my old Range Rover from, man, I don't know, East Coast Scale Challenge 2016 maybe? 2015? This was a Class 2 truck. Lots of custom metal work by a very good friend of mine, Chris Middleton, and he goes by the name of Wrencher on the Scale Builders Guild forums. And yeah, this it wasn't Class 2 with these tires. I think I had Pitbull Rock Beasts on there, the original ones, the 4.3 inch tall. So yeah. I don't think I'll put lockers on this though, only because I've already ordered scale accurate Range Rover wheels from CC Hand, and those are not SLW, so they won't be compatible with that locker anyway. Will I do another SCX 24 series? Possibly, yeah. I've got enough parts And I might as well get that down here too, because we've talked about this a little bit. But I probably will do another one. I have that new Lizard ESC that Furatech sent out. This is the more powerful one with the better BEC included in it. I also wired up four-wheel steer with this little thing from this company called Baston's. And it's pretty amazing. It uses the stock radio because the stock radio actually has, I think it has a third channel on it, and it uses that third channel in a pretty unique way. So every time you flip the switch, it changes the setting. So you can have front wheel steering as normal, then you can have rear wheel steer, you can have four wheel steer, and then you can also have crab walk. So it has all of those settings built in. Every time you flip the switch, it does something different. So lots of stuff on there that could warrant its own video. I've also got the TGH carbon fiber rails on there. It does need some work to get everything kind of working, so we could make a series out of that maybe. Why not? I've got lots of time. Said me never. Hit it with a hammer, be a man. Oh, I guess that's how far backwards I am here. Sorry. No ding dong tonight. No, I haven't seen him yet. Any scars from the cliff fall on the Capra? No. That thing, it survived entirely, completely. No problems. I mean, it hit a lot of things on the way down, which probably stopped anything from breaking seriously, but nothing broke. Not even the stock axles. It all survived. Testament to the build quality of that truck. Yeah, that's right. Just one rod end was a little bit stretched out. Okay. I'm missing comments galore here. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm looking for a good investment for a crawler. I'm 15, so I have a low budget. What should I get? Well, Devlin, you should save your money and get something good. TRX4 Sport, TRX4, Axial SCX-10-3, Element Enduro. I think the Element Enduro actually with the revised like cab and then cage back, that would be a good choice too. They're all really good. I'm sure I've forgotten some of them, but I mean, I would save your money and get something of a good quality. Don't buy anything that is sort of a knockoff or cheap, because you'll just be disappointed. Kind of a maintenance show. Leaves broken drive shaft flopping around. Jake, I don't have one to replace it. Well, I probably do, but I don't have anything to replace it with yet. All right. How much for the ESC from your Class 3 rig? Why, you want to buy it, Jesse? I'm not selling that. Plus, I smoked that BEC on it, so no, that's not for sale. We'll get to that too, though. Let me quickly talk about this truck a little tiny bit before we move on. I built this so long ago. These wheels were not the ones that I sold the truck with. Lots of the scale bits are missing. The chassis is an absolute disaster, but we're going to share that tomorrow night instead. Because, yeah, it's a good example of what not to do, especially in Class 2. But here's the interior, which is in really good shape still, which is great. There's a few bits and pieces that need to be tacked down or glued back in place, but for the most part, it's all there, including a tiny magazine that I made. Yes, I know. But driver figure, the works. Full interior points. All right. Now, comp truck. The TGH Sherpa Expert Edition. I don't know. I didn't have to show a membership card or anything when I got this, but no oil in the shocks. That's why it's just kind of flopping around right now. There's not a lot of resistance on those because I haven't decided on shock oil yet. But Jesse? Why do you need this ESC so badly? Isn't he making more? There's got to be more coming, if there isn't right now. This is the Crawlmaster Mini ESC, the kit, which I made perfectly. And then I found out that the BECs were faulty. And that's what the refunds were for. Eric Baker, you put a Hobby Wing Fusion FOC 1800 in the Capra. That's a good choice for that one. Especially if is it the stock transmission? If so, that makes great sense. Those tires are on backwards, not. Thanks, Travis. What's the size of those tires? I love RC four-wheel drive MTRs. Those are 475s? Yeah, these are the big ones. These are the 475s. It's a great tire. Looks good, works good. Massey sacked or did his job. Oh boy, don't even get me started. That was the worst restart I've ever seen in my whole life. 1981 Blazing Blazer. Hi, Chris. Did that also have the locking hubs? Add 6mm to track width. Okay, there you go. 6mm. That's not so bad. What's something I can look into to replace the stock Capra cage? You could put a body on it. Zetro RCZ, I think, on Instagram. He did a Toyota cab on top of his. It looks pretty good. Hello, Ian Turbo. Does one of your videos cover cutting up a kit hardbody? Yes. What video was it? Road to Scale Nationals, last year's edition. That's where I cut up the jelly bean and made that one. So yeah, that's pretty well covered in that video series. You can go back and watch that. Matt Carlson, what brand tools do you use with your DeWalt? In this guy here, these are the Traxxas tips. They come in a kit. Where is it? It comes in a kit like this. You get a couple of these guys, which I have never used. And then you get all the tips of varying sizes, plus the ball end ones that Josh is very fond of. I also haven't used those, but they're there for when the other ones break, I guess. But that's a great toolkit, and it works really well with the DeWalt. My all-time favorite driver, because it's just got the right amount of torque and speed. I wish the batteries were bigger, though. All right. I forget who makes the Toyota Land Cruiser grill for the Capra. That's Night Customs. How do you make MTR tires perform? And then just run them. Make sure that the wider spaced lugs are on the outside. That's how they're supposed to be in real life. Hello, Robbie. How are you? I need that hat to wear my day job. Yeah, you can't please them all. I wear it during client sessions, and I don't know if my clients love it or hate it. It's probably a combination of both. Okay, where are we here? What happened to the U4 Bronco build? It's still in the works, but now Nationals has to take priority. These builds have to get done by like the first week of April, and as you can see, there's a lot to do. And there's always new stuff happening and new stuff coming in. So I'm sort of struggling in between building stuff and getting projects wrapped up and shooting videos and filming stuff. So there's always something happening that kind of prevents me from actually working on the things that I need to work on. Yeah. Where am I staying? In Alabama. Haven't decided yet. I think Josh and I are looking at an Airbnb to try and reduce costs and keep ourselves sane. Instead of being in a hotel room, it's nice to have some room to spread out. And I'm driving down, and I'm taking 2 days to do it just to kind of see the sights as I go through. So I'm going to want to have a nice place to stay. Did you miss the van with the Traxxas? No, not yet. Haven't gotten to that yet. Eric Baker also switched to SCX-10 2 F9s as well. Not a big fan of the Capra portals, just too wide for my taste. Yeah, I felt it was too wide on the Capra as well. That's pretty much why I did it. Does that rocket vibrate too? That could be a good bumper sticker. And what an apropos username, Beaver King. I almost feel like that's DK. Almost. What's the best chassis for Class 2-3? You know what? The best anything is so hard to kind of give an objective opinion on. Everyone's going to have a different one, a different opinion for sure. I like this TGH chassis. There is G-Speed. There are a huge number of other ones that I'm not even familiar with. It's all just kind of what you know and what you like and what you prefer. I like the TGH style front motor mount with the low center of gravity motor. That just kind of looked good to me, so that's the one I went with. Tom Wade, nice to see the Capra. You inspired me to build essentially the same truck, and it's one of my favorite rigs. Right on, that's great. Fantastic. And Ben bought it. Oh, is that in relation to the ESC? I got to see where your other comment was. I think I must have missed it. I assume that's what happened, though. Oh no, it's squatted. Whistling Diesel won't like that. Yes. I'm not, I don't follow that very often, so... Oh my gosh, I missed so much. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm slow, eh? I'm from Canada. You don't happen to have a factory white Jeep body laying around? No, I don't. Sorry. Add all your SCX-24s together. The Oct SCX-24. I've got so many SCX-24s. It's stupid. You scared Logan with that name now. A scarred Logan. Yes, I definitely have scarred him for sure. What would be the best comp-based truck? It depends. Like, if you're just comping with your friends locally, you can get away with an awful lot less than spending on something like this, which is purpose-built for comps. And, you know, when set up properly by somebody who knows what they're doing, it's probably a very competitive truck. I think, though, like, one of the best events that I've been to is the Team K&K events. When they do those, they run what's something called a Class 2.5, or Class 2 and then 2.5. Class 2 is like stock truck, stock axles, stock everything. You can change, I think, bumpers and bodies, but everything has to be basically stock. And they check them out to make sure that they are. And there are some spectacular drivers. I think a lot of this stuff comes down to knowing your vehicle and knowing how it drives and how it handles, what it can do and what it cannot do. So to say what's the best starting comp truck, that's really difficult to say. I mean, I've seen people drive the doors off of people with trucks that had no business comping, yet, you know, they did. So I'm not really great at answering those types of questions because what works for one person may not work for another. Crawler Baller, thanks again. Did you do a run video of that SCX-24 build? No. I haven't. I've been so busy. I'm so sorry. I know that people have been waiting and want to see this ridiculous thing do something. I'll have to see how my time is this weekend. It's like so close to Christmas now. I've got so much work going on that I have to get done before the holiday. I'm not done all my Christmas shopping. There's like 5 things out there that I need to do review videos on. It's just like one thing after another. I'm sorry. But I promise that will happen eventually. Ghost Stealth R1, thank you very much. And it looks like a lady giving me a cup of coffee. Right on. I appreciate it. Deadbolt would be good too. Terex 4, I highly recommend. Gosh dang, that truck looks good, Matt. Love that Rover body. Thank you, Magic School Truck. Yeah, I will show that Rover off a lot more. There is a whole build thread on that truck on the forum, so you might want to go check that out. I think it had Range Rover in the title, so it should be easy to find. No, just the ESC. Not, I just need the ESC. Okay, no BEC for you. I mean, I do need it. So I think I'm going to hang on to it. Sorry, Jesse. Lauren B, thanks very much. Thanks for doing the SSD hub question, Matt. My pleasure. Did I miss another? No, I think we're okay there. Holmes posted today that parts were set back on the Crawlmaster Minis, saying 6 months wait. Oh, shoot. I hope I don't need another one. That's not good. Now I see why Jesse wants it so bad. Yeah, well, I went to look at that low-profile servo that Josh was all over today, and they're all gone. But to be fair, I didn't want it because it's purple. It's like my least favorite color, I think. As time goes on, do you think that SSD will make the locking hub in a Curry offset? Well, he already does a slight offset for his Trail King, so I don't see why he wouldn't. I'm sure that's something that'll happen. Anyone running brushed in their class 2s? Some people still do, yeah. I think brushed motors still have a place. You get a lot of torque out of a brushed motor, and they're pretty reliable. But yeah, I don't know. I like the brushless now. Those tires are terrible for a mud truck. What? Huh? What? Which ones? Jeremy. And which one's a mud truck now? I hope not this. This is not a mud truck. It's not. It'll never touch mud. It might get slightly dirty, but that's it. Mountain biking, if you've got a build idea, by all means, send it my way. You can instant message me on Instagram. Fun Hover Video has lots of body cutting, but no Dremel use, so there is that. That's true, Oni. I'm very good at not using a Dremel. Any more questions on comp trucks? Like I said, this does have the Axial SCX-10 3 straight axles on it. Don't know how long those are going to stay on there, though. I did order up a set of the original SCX-10 2s because that does present a lot easier situation for rear steer if I wanted to go that route. So these may end up on my Class 1 truck instead. I know Josh is going portals, and he's using the new F10s, which makes a lot of sense. He does work at Vanquish, so kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Hey, let's do a quick look at something else. You probably saw this on the old Instagram. But look at that little guy. That's the FMS Kubelwagen. Volkswagen Kubelwagen. Das ist not eine Booby. Or das ist not eine Booby. I don't know why Stan Lee's driving it, but he looks damn cool in it. Oh, what? Whoa. But he looks damn cool in there. So you can stare at that for a minute or two, and I'll get to some questions here. What are your thoughts on a Reef's micro servo winch on the SX-10 III, or should I go a size bigger? I would go bigger. I'm sure the micro is fine, but bigger is always better. Eric Baker, thanks very much. Thinking of switching to the Spectrum 2300 kV all-in-one. Yeah, I'd go for it. That is a great motor ESC combo. I'm pretty happy with it, despite it not being smart. I wish it was. Do you know the Micro Shark for the SCX-24? Yes. I sure as heck do. I've got a Micro Shark right there. I built this one when Rex Racer first put these out. And I was like, that is sick as, I must have one. And then I built it. It's a great kit. The instructions are super easy to follow. And it looks super badass. Especially with those new Hyrax 1.0s on there. It's one of my favorite micros trucks. They're there. They're there. All right. Good thing all of this stuff is like right here. Hello, Chris Hill. How are you? Hey, there's West Desert Wheeler. Hi, Logan. How are you? Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Reduce cost and rekindle relationships. I feel like, Wes, that's a a statement about my state of constantly being busy. My wife and I spend a lot of time together because we work in the same house together. But will Matt get detained at the border? No. I have Nexus, so I just sail right through. No problem. Hello, Logan, or is it Ding Dong? You and Josh should do a swivel frame build-off. I am not familiar with what that is. Oh yeah, like the old Dodge, the Dodge doodads. Powerwagon had one of those, didn't it? Oh, Logan, I got to check out your video where you won a comp. I've never done that, so I want to know what it feels like for someone else to. Kubelwagen? Wuzzle wazzle? Stan is the king of cameos. That's a very good point, Kevin, so it kind of makes sense that he's in there. I will be doing a review video on this thing. Thing? Kind of like the precursor to the VW thing. It's got a lot of nice scale details for sure. It looks very nice. Padded seating, so Stan can sit there in comfort. Lots of lights, lots of little things that open. You can fold the seats down. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's a motor. There's a real motor in the back. Neat. All kinds of stuff. I will definitely do a review, but it's not going to be a traditional review because, let's be honest, I don't think this thing is going to be all that great on the rocks. Not with these pizza cutters on there. And it being so small. And it probably not having a lot of power. I haven't even turned it on yet. But I can say quite confidently this is more of a model that happens to be RC than an RC that happens to be a model. All right. Thank you for the input on money better spent. I'm always happy to help you spend money. Looking to go direct power for my steering servo. Any input or things to be mindful about it on? If you're going to go direct power, make sure your servo can handle direct power. For example, on the comp truck, this is a Holmes SHV 500 BLS V3. 12-volt servo, so it can handle 12 volts. So 3S LiPo capable. It comes pre-wired with signal and control, so you plug that into your receiver, and then there's a JST on the other end here, and you plug that directly into your ESC. Like what I've done here is wired up a JST male to the power on the actual ESC. So that way it's getting direct power. All 11 volts or whatever I'm going to pump through it. 3S probably is all I need. So that's how that works. Keep it simple. But do make sure whatever servo you're buying is capable of doing that. Because not all of them are. Most of them are not. Most of them are 7.4 volts and no more. Put any more through it, you're going to blow it up. Hey, Patina Guy. Yes, that is Stan Lee driving right there. Looking quite pleased with himself. Hey, web crawlers. It's me, Stan Lee. I've gone back in time to avert World War II. He's a spy, I guess. Brian Sherwood, thank you very much. Is the VW your Class 1 winning rig? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. I think if anything, this would be Class 0, but I don't think it's big enough. And are the tires licensed? They might be licensed. Yeah, let's try it. We'll show up with this and see what they say. Side note, one of the best live stream setups. Well, thank you very much, Steady Spin. I appreciate that. Very kind. You should put the portal axles on the Micro Shark. I should. I've been looking at getting a set of those, but I've got so many other things on the go that right now it's sort of like, I got to get these Nationals trucks done. Would you ever run a pair of J-Concepts Tusks? I don't have a set. I almost bought a set, but I chickened out at the last minute. I don't know why. Oh, the steering wheel moves. Did you know that? Cool. There's a follow-up to the Microshark question. He's saying you should do a 1/10 scale version of it. I mean, yes. I mean, the Gatekeeper sort of looks like it. That's a good idea. Nice flex on the Microshark. Yeah, it definitely has that. Show us your Willy. I think you're going to fit in just fine on the old web forum. Show us your Willy. Which Willy? You mean the Willies? I only have one. Hey, how you doing? Let me see if I can get it down here. It's big, so it's not gonna see much of it. There we go. What a terrible shot that is. Ugh. This is my Willys. It's a little bit bigger than the Kubelwagen, considering they're half the scale of each other. It's like a giant man attacking this tiny car. That's actually a pretty funny scene. I am way behind. I know. I'm lagging behind everybody. I'm sorry. RC Driver did a really good review of his. I thought it looked really cool. It does look really cool. I am reading comments that were written 10 minutes ago. I know. I'm sorry. But I don't want to like... Oh, Airbnb was with Harley was the rekindling. Got it. Oh, I haven't seen him in like almost 3 years. Greg and Steve really liked the little thing. Watch my comps review videos. Learn from my mistakes. Exactly. Why'd you cancel the Mr. Plow build? Making room for a Mr. Plow King build? No. I don't know. I just decided that I didn't want to do that paint scheme on the G-Made. Like it was going to say Mr. Plow on the back, and the rest would be a red truck. So I kind of gave up on that idea. What's 3 best figures for scale trucks? Where did you get Stan? I ordered him on Amazon. I just searched Stan Lee 6-inch driver or 6-inch action figure. But drivers are all over the map. I used to use a lot of classictvtoys.com because they have cheap drivers and they looked pretty good from a distance. So that's what I would recommend. You should do a Pizza Hut theme. I say everyone stop chatting so he catches up. Easy fix, right? I guess so. Show us the cab over Land Rover. I just did. Here it is. Again. This silly little thing, eh? What reef servo is in the Class 2 currently? That's not a servo. It's a winch. That was the 800 IS internal winch that is just receiver powered, so it only gets whatever your receiver's set to. So I haven't actually... I think this is probably more like going to be a Class 1 choice, not a Class 2. I'm going to try to get my hands on a Holmes crazy winch, whatever he's calling it. Steady Spin, thank you very much. SCX6 Power Hobby 1513 MG 5th scale aluminum waterproof high torque brushless servo on 4S Direct. Wow. That sounds like a lot of torque. I've got what I put in it. I put one of the new Spectrum 5th scale ones, and I've got like 1,500 ounce-inches of torque at 7 volts. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's not super fast, mind you, but it is good enough for me. All right, so this Willys was built on the Vanquish VS410 Origin. This is one of the prototype Origins that I have here, and now it has this big, massive hard body on it. I also put, can't see it there, but it's got the Vanquish motor that Mr. Comedy made up for it, so that's kind of neat. And it was just sort of like, I'm going to make a, something goofball, and I like these 6 scale Willys. I think they look pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. Nice truck. Nice truck. Put that back on the shelf. All right. What's next? Isn't the LS Post a Willys? Oh yeah, it is. I've got 2 Willys. This is another one of my pride and joys. I'm so glad that Wes made this for me. What a nice fella, eh? For example, somebody was asking about drivers earlier. That's a classic TV Toys driver, so he's pretty cool. He looks pretty good in there. Yeah, this truck is killer. I absolutely adore this truck. It looks so great. Wes did an amazing job. Wesmade, if you're not familiar, he does a lot of custom styrene built bodies, and this one is pretty spectacular. Don't look at the scratches on it. It just means that I drive it. So yes, that is also a Willys. I forgot all about that. All right. I think I'm going to have to zoom ahead a little bit. How big of a mistake did I make by going BFG crawlers over Hyrax? I don't think you can go wrong with either, honestly. They're both great tires. Moose Jaw's home. Hello, Moose Jaw. Together they look like that massive power wagon in Dubai. Yeah, that's right. Hi, Blind Guy. Did I miss it? I'm so sorry. I feel bad. Thank you very much. That comp build is awesome. I'm still learning what is allowed on a Class 2. My tires were flat iron XL 1.9, so change that. Servo and axle stretched. Nice. Sounds like a good quality comp truck. Sorry, guys. I am so behind. But I'm trying to catch up. And I didn't bring a drink in here, so I'm super parched. All right. Oh yeah, Moose Jaw. We got to get you on tomorrow night. Keep that in mind. What size are the Hyrax? They are, on the comp build, they're 4.75. 1.9s. Is there a 3D printable SCX-10-2 trail honcho interior? Not that I know of, Ashley. Although, does Knight Customs have one? Check their My Mini factory. They might. You can also use a bomber interior. That's what Josh did. And oh, that's exactly what somebody just said right under there. Those Holmes Hobbies TGH servo winches haven't restocked since they dropped. I think you'll need to ask John to custom make you one. I don't think John and I have that kind of relationship. Matt needs a comment reader. She's not available. Drink maple syrup, you'll be fine. All right, I think it's time. What time is it? 9:32. Let's get, I think, what a lot of people have probably been waiting for. Let's get that up here. God, that chair is so squeaky. Here's another, while we're waiting, here's another driver that I did. This is a classic TV Toys body and clothes. And this head is from the FAV, I think. The Tamiya desert buggy thing. All right, where is it? Oh, it's back here. Ta-da! Here it is. God, this is huge. Zoom out again. Zip. There we go. So, oh, 2 of my faces. Weird. 1, 2. All right. We can wait. Thanks, Blind Guy. I'm sorry about that. I hate missing stuff like that. Everyone needs a Roz for their Fraser. Am I Fraser? Paul's 1816. How do you make MTR tires perform? You already asked that question. I thought I answered it. I just kind of use them. I use Crawler Innovations foams, which seem to make a world of difference over the RC 4-wheel drive included ones. And yeah, they just kind of work. Make sure that you orient them properly, and the wider spaced lugs are on the outside of every corner. Is there much of a market for honcho interiors? It's a big print, like you say. I don't know that there would be. I don't think there's a lot of honchos out there anymore. Could be, though. Hey, look, a creeper van. This isn't a creeper van. There's nothing creepy about, well, I mean, it's not creepy, but it is certainly weird. Jimmy Two Horses, thanks very much. Donation towards lube for Matt's chair. I've got lube right here. For all of your chair lubricating needs, I recommend Cow RC Moose Lick. Not a sponsored video. It doesn't work. I mean, it works, but this, oh, it's getting worse. I think it's just the, it's just the chair. It's so bad. What an embarrassing chair. Maybe it's time for money for a new chair. And you need a bigger studio, time to buy a new house. Funny you mentioned that, Mike. I'm not moving because I can't afford to move. This house this is it. The next thing we move into will be smaller. Or not in the city. Only 63 likes. That can't be right. There's 140 likes. That's better. But what I'm thinking of doing is actually building a office in the backyard. I'm going to build a man shed, but properly insulate it. Build some stuff into it, like a actual heating element. Probably do a paint booth. Try to make it like a new place to actually film and do some build videos and get some natural light while I work. That would be really nice. So, yeah, that's sort of what I would like. And maybe in the spring, that'll be the next big project after I get back from Scale Nationals. All right. Yes. Are those tracks you picked up? These Flying IRC. Hello. These are the tracks that I picked up at Paris Junction Hobby. So yeah, they made it onto a build. I was like, I don't know why I'm buying these. I don't need these. But I can't not buy tracks. If I see them, or there's a tracked option, you know I'm getting it. So, yes, Paris Junction Hobbies, thank you very much. Not a sponsored video. These are from there, and a little bit of paint goes a long way to make them unique. That color scheme, nice. This is the same color scheme that is featured on the Ken Block Raptor with tracks. I have a picture of that around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, that chair. I have lost that picture. But trust me, I mean, you've seen it. That's what it looks like, only it's a pickup truck instead. This or Randall's UMG on tracks? This. I'm going to go with this. Kevin Nugent, hello, thank you. Merry Christmas. Are there any plans for another SBG Fun build-off? Yes, there is. But the title sponsor told me to hold off until the new year. They wanted to get the holidays out of the way, and then we're going to hit that pretty hard. We've got some good ideas, and I think it's going to be like a hard body only sort of build-off, which I'm pretty excited about. All right, the van is awesome. Color scheme is top-notch. Thank you. The way that I did this, I used on-point paint again, and it's looking a little more green and not as much neon as it does here, but it is fairly neon. But I used on-point paint. There was not a dark green that I was going to be like, that's military enough. There wasn't one in the lineup close enough. So what I did, all of this was masked off. There's no stickers except for this Ford sticker and these 4 sponsor stickers. Everything else is paint, including the Monster logo, Hoonivan logo. Everything is paint. But so it was all masked off with masking tape, not liquid mask. All hand cut for the camo scheme, and then these were all cut on the Cricut. But there was no dark enough green, so what I did was I used their tint, and I sprayed like 2 light coats of tint, and then I sprayed the same green again. And you can see how much of a difference that tint makes for giving you a whole wealth of possibilities for other colors. So it's a pretty neat way of doing it, and I'm really pleased with the results. Somebody was asking earlier in the Monster logo, and in that Monster logo, let's see if I can get this a little bit closer. There is a fade, and that, like, you can sort of see it there, right? Green to yellow, green to yellow, green to yellow. The way that I did that is really, really simple. I learned this trick from Hemistorm. All you do is you take some masking tape, doesn't matter what kind, just a nice strip like that, and then roll it like you would roll a roll of tape around. Not like anything you've rolled before or you've seen kids at high school behind the gym do. You just roll a tube, just kind of like that. And then what you do is you kind of stick it halfway down. So it's sort of lightly placed and on the inside, of course, not on the outside. And then you've got this sort of line, and then you just spray your first color and then take the tape off and spray your next color. And it creates a nice subtle gradient between the two colors. That's it. Super easy. Don't say I never taught you anything. Lone Star RC, oh my gosh, jumped around again. Lone Star RC guy, thank you very much. Thank you for another great stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you for watching. I wouldn't be able to do this, well, I would do this without you, but it's really nice that you're here. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I love sharing stuff with people, so... So any advice on doing a camouflage scheme as this? Yes. Plan it all out beforehand. What I actually did, and I don't know if I kept the picture or not, but I have in front of me, when I'm starting to sketch out how I want this to look, I have a picture in front of me of the actual scheme that I'm trying to duplicate. And what I do is I masked out the entire body with masking tape. Windows were done first, and then I masked everything else after that. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I put down the Monster logo mask and the Hoonivan mask first, and then I masked the entire thing with masking tape. On the outside of the body, with the protective film still on it, I start to draw out where I want these shapes to appear. So I get a ruler out. I have a little miniature like plastic ruler that I use, and I start to draw these shapes out. And then once I've had all the shapes drawn out, I draw a little color code with just like, so B for black, DG for dark green, G for green, S for silver, and so on and so forth. And I do that for every single piece of the camo. So that way I know in the order in which I have to remove the masks. So I cut all of the masking first. It's really key to do that, because once you've painted a dark color, you cannot see where the lines are from the other side. So cut all of the lines for every single bit of masking that you need to do. These are already done because it was cut on the Cricut. And then you start to peel away darkest to lightest. Always go darkest to lightest. It just makes it so much easier. You're not going to have any trouble with bleed or any colors being dulled by a darker color, like white or red or orange will look shitty if you spray black next. And then just go in the order of the colors that you need to do. I think I did the Hoonivan logo and the Monster logo last, because those were the last elements, and they weren't close to anything really super bright, so it wasn't going to affect anything anyway. But I think I did spray a couple of backing colors in between, just to make sure everything stayed the colors that it was. And I learned all of this from Hemistorm. So he's the man. You should watch his videos if you're ever interested in doing any Lexan paint work. All right. Yeah, drink up, everyone. I know, I'm awful. I'm the worst. Would those tracks really work in snow? Yeah, they were sort of made to work in snow. Obviously, loose pack 17 inches of snow, it's not going to do anything, but no RC would at that point. But yeah, for like a scale amount of snow, like anywhere from like, I bet you even like up to 4 inches, you'd probably be fine. And I've swapped out the stock motor and ESC from this TRX4 Sport. I put in a 2300 kV brushless system, so it's got plenty of get up and go. So it should actually fling the snow pretty well. Let's take another couple of looks at this thing. There's a few other things. Best builds of 2021 coming. Yes, there is. I've already got a few trucks that are under consideration that I want to make sure get in there. So yeah, that video will be coming soon adjacent. So body clips on the top, hidden by the roof rack. And then what I did at the front was sort of hinge it. Not really hinge it, but I'm using the stock body mounts that I cut. Let's see if that would come off. Gently. That's preventing it to come off here. There we go. So as you can see, there's two posts that just go into the front body mount. I have to be careful here because the light kit is attached. But yeah, otherwise it's just a stock TRX4. I've upgraded the electronics. But yeah, I thought that was the kind of the best way to implement this so it could still get on and off quite easily. Oof, it's so big and unwieldy. I'm making a mess. Get this back on here. But yeah, that way it was sort of like, it was nice and easy to get it on and off. And the snowboards and everything. It's a fun build. I think it'll look really great in video, especially. The only thing is you gotta reach in, gotta reach in underneath and get the rear body mount to line up again. And yeah, pretty easy to get into. Stock battery location, everything about it is pretty much just a stock TRX4. Don't use a shipping container if you do that. No, I won't. Alex, I'll use a plan and build it from scratch. So cool RC show. Yes, thank you. It is. Stop it. I'm trying to hand paint a fuel cell. I can't focus. You need a Hemistorm shed. I need a Hemistorm building. That's another plan. I really want to go out and visit Chris out in Norway. I think that would be an amazing trip. I've got the Pelican case to put a couple of RCs in, so we'll probably do that. Will you put a valve on the wall in the shed? Yeah, I could see myself doing that for comedy. Put a restroom in the man shed and you'll never leave. That's why I probably won't put one in there, because my wife would miss me. I love Kyle's van. It's such a Kyle van, isn't it? Needs 4-track steering. That would be kind of cool. Will you go back to Lexan in 2022? I think there will be a few opportunities to go Lexan, but I won't like it. Woohoo, that's awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Kevin. Did you realize you have a Ford emblem on a Chevy van bow tie? Do I? Because I'm pretty sure that says Ford on it. So don't worry about it. It's an inside joke. You can also buy the t-shirt on the store, the old Teespring store. Ashley, yes, I do sell my crawlers. Every once in a while I have to sell to make room for the other ridiculous things that I've bought. Kind of like that Range Rover that I built and then sold 8 years ago and then bought again. Hi all, say during the live stream you accidentally drove your TRX4 in the pool. What would you do asking for a friend? Well, gosh, I mean, most of the electronics, if it's a stock one, should be okay, unless it's at the bottom of the pool. Big and unwieldy, that's what she said. Oh, boy. Who's going to be driving the Hoonivan van? I didn't put a driver in. I think I pulled a Josh on that one. I didn't put a driver in. Why didn't I do that? I think it was fitment issues, because this interior wasn't really designed with a driver in mind. Jimmy, James Knight from Knight Customs, he made it, and because it's so front forward cab style, there's not a lot of room in that interior, so it would have to be a knees up driver, and I never got around to putting one in, and I think I've glued that interior in there, so no driver for this one. Did you paint the shocks and diffs too? No, the shocks are RC 4-wheel drive King shocks, And then I did paint the diff covers, yes, because I wanted them to match the tracks. It's a nice cohesive color scheme. Saltwater pool. Oh, that thing is hooped. Favorite SCX-10 body? Gladiator. That's an easy one. I've got dibs on your RC 4-wheel drive Galante 2 D90 pickup with the awesome weathering. Oh, cool. So you're buying that from the person who bought that from me? Awesome. So who's going to be driving your comp rigs for you in April? I'm driving them. Can you not use a bruiser driver? No, I tried and it doesn't fit. Like I said, there's like a hump on the front portion that would prevent that from working really super well. The seats are also a little more upright than usual. So have you seen the tracks being done by RC Test Flight? Looks like a performance track setup that really works. I have not seen them. I will check them out. I know that those guys are pretty amazing. What happened to the Blazer mud truck? Life happened. It's almost done. The one thing that I've been waiting on, I might as well show you. I'm adding... oh, there it is. I'm adding wipers. One of the requests from my contact at Traxxas was, you should put some working wipers on that. I was like, oh yeah, okay, no problem, I'll do that. So I found a kit, and I might as well talk about this. It'll be in the episode once I get around to it. But I found this, this is hilarious. I found this real gimmick wiper kit for working wipers. And yeah, they sort of work, but they weren't meant for a truck with an interior. So they're meant for like touring cars, for like drifters, I guess. So I've had to do some fiddling, namely with the mounts. I had to actually print my own risers to make these sit at the proper angle so they wouldn't just like dig into the windshield every time they went by. So that part is set up now. It's working. I just need to make sure they're glued into place, and then I have to connect them. So the other thing, this kit is trash. It's junk. I would not recommend it. So it comes with a rod for connecting those two things, so the motor can move both wipers at the same time, and it comes with rod ends. It comes with more than one, but it comes with many rod ends to attach these. But when I went to go thread them on, I realized there's no, the gap is too big. They don't go on at all. So I was like, neat, thanks. That's a high quality kit. I'm really glad that I have this. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna have to, super glue these together, and then I'll maybe I'll actually, you know what? I'll probably heat them up, or heat up the rod and just stick them in there, and then that way they'll be in there forever. And then I also have to, because the motor for that whole thing kind of goes into where the dashboard is, I've got to make some holes in the dash in order to make that sit perfectly. But I'm hoping that it'll all be not seen once it's all kind of assembled and finished. So yes, that's the holdup on that. And I also want to do some graphics on the outside. Okay, yes, sorry, Outcast. I misunderstood your question. I did sell it. I sold it a long time ago. I liked it, but got an offer I could not refuse. Do you have, Moose Jaw's asking, do you have an extra Class 1 rig for scale nats? I could. Why, do you need one? I'll bring, I'll bring the Marlin if you want. It's a Class 1. It's a good Class 1. I finished 7th place with this once. So it's set. It's ready to go. A&M Garage with the transfer case flip or whatever it is. I lowered the motor as low as it'll possibly go on a TF2. Good high quality servo. There's a winch in here somewhere. I think it's a good winch too. Yeah, it's a very good winch. Leafs in the rear, so you get extra points. This is like a 60-point truck. So just saying, this could be the one that I could bring if you need an extra. Lots of scale points too. Custom interior, the works. Will you sell the Phoenix? Probably not, because that was also pre-release. I got that one months in advance, so quite near and dear to me. I'll stick that one around. Matt, what would you sell your Mud Blazer for? Pre-mud, not for sale. Post-mud, we'll talk. Super glue time, yes. TRX4 got body... TRX4 got body, long arm lift with 2.2 mudslingers. What's your take, brother? I don't think I understand the question. Sorry, Arthur. Hey, Matt, what do you think? We're gonna have to wrap this up soon, guys. I have to work again tonight, so there's more work happening after we wrap this up, and already going on 1.5 hours. Holy cow. Okay. Tamiya putty. I don't think Tamiya putty would hold. JB Weld, I could use that. I think I might just melt it all together so that way it's stuck forever. Hey Matt, do you think that in the future there will be comps for SCX6 and other trail trucks of that caliber? Well, I think what's going to happen is other people are going to have to make trucks of that size for that to happen. I'd love to see a large scale class. You'd need some big ass courses, but it could be a lot of fun. Brad, what paint do you use for hard plastic and printed parts? Just regular everyday acrylics. Yeah, just good primer is always where I start first. Have you smoked any motors with the overdrive on that A&M swap on on the Class 1 Marlin? No, I have not. But then again, I only drive it as a comp truck, so it gets limited drive time. Video 7th out of 8, and 8 was a DNS. There were many people that year. I think there was like 55 people. Where do you keep all your trucks? They are everywhere. They're everywhere. If they're not on the bench, they're above the bench. They're behind me. They're on another series of shelves over here. All over here, into the other room, all over the floor. There's trucks everywhere. There's way too many things going on in here. Can I see your favorite Jeep? Well, it's out in the driveway. I guess that's it for the Hoonivan. See you later. Smell you later. I can't wait to make video of this, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a couple of favorite Jeeps. Wes's LS Post is pretty great. Noob's 6x6 Cherokee is pretty spectacular. I'm sure you've all seen this before. This ridiculous thing. It's pretty great. I like that one a lot. I like the Gladiator. It's pretty nice. The SCX6 is good. My Mini-Me is a nice Jeep as well that I have yet to run. It's just a filthy, dirty mess, but it's basically a tiny version of mine. That's on a VS410, which was a good choice, I think. That first SCX-10-3, because that was a prototype as well, that was kind of a nice piece to get and have and hold on to forever. What kind of vinyl or stencil film are you using on the Cricket? Oracal is the brand name. It seems to work pretty well. Josh showed us his whole room. Don't let him one-up you. I've done a full shop tour before. It's on the channel. You can go watch that video and see the whole room. Thanks for all the great videos and tips. Really appreciate the concern for all of us here in Bowling Green, Kentucky after the storms. Yeah, I hope you guys are well down there. It sucks. Really enjoyed the live tonight. Having a good one, Matt. Awesome rigs as always. Thank you. Is the DX5C worth it? Yes, I like the DX5C. I like it a lot more than the Rugged, I will tell you that much. The Rugged, for me, was just a terrible radio to try to operate. I hated that touchscreen so much. That's why I like the DX5C and the DX5 Pro, or is it R? Yeah, DX5 Pro is the radio I'm using right now, and that's my absolute favorite until they do a better one. All right, I think that's going to do it, guys. This was really fun. It was nice to kind of go through some of the old stuff and some of the new stuff from from yesterday's episode of What's on the Bench. We'll continue to do this kind of format because I think it works pretty well. Cal 1976, you probably said this 1,000 times, but you started watching. Where did you get that van body from? It's from Charisma, and there is a link in the description down below, so you can go check that out. Yeah, see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for live stream takeover with Josh from Harley Designs Incorporated. See you then. And oh, well, hey, can't leave without thanking everybody. Thanks to Brian Harrison, Crawler Baller, Jeremiah Solberg, Eric Baker, Crawler Baller, Ghost Stealth R1, Lauren B, Eric Baker, Crawler Baller, Brian, Blind Guy RC, Brian Sherwood, Steady Spin, Jimmy Two Horses, Kevin Nugent, Lone Star RC Guy, Buck Dandy coming in under the wire there. Thank you very much. Do you know if the Tamiya 73 Bronco body and Proline 73 body are the same size? I'm going to say probably not. The Tamiya body is definitely smaller. It's closer to 10th scale. Actual 10th scale. Yeah. Pretty sure the Proline one is going to be bigger. I think that's just about it. Thanks everybody for watching. See you again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Set your watches. Bye everyone. Love you, bye.